Hello, I'm Steve Lipton, and this is a series of advanced topics to extend my LinkedIn Learning course, SAP Business One Reporting and Customization. We're trying to make a printed version of this production report to include the roundings on them. This video will require some knowledge of Crystal Reports, so if you're rusty on Crystal Reports, you might want to check out my course, SAP Business One Reporting and Customization, in the LinkedIn Learning Library. From the last video, we have both reports available, but we only want to see one at a time. So I'm going to create a new subreport to help decide which one to hide. Make a new subreport called stage count. And I can go up here, type in stage count, go to the report wizard, open up tables. We're only going to need WOR1 for this, so I'm just going to go in there. Next, and I don't need anything else here, so I can hit finish. I'll go to the link, and this is a simple one. I'm just going to do doc entry, and since I only have one, it's going to be the right doc entry, so I can hit OK. And it's going to ask me where to put it, and I want to put this somewhere in here, okay? So I'm going to click it in here, and you can see it's huge right now. I'm going to scoot it down. I don't need a big report here, and it's giving me a lot of space here, but I'm just going to. You can see it's trying to make it big. So we're going to fix this report so it doesn't make that much space. But I'm going to get it as small as I can this way because I'm only going to have one number in here. All right, so now that I got that, I can double click on here and you can see my report. And that's the stage count is right here. I'm going to get rid of that print date. I'm going to solve that first problem of space real quick. I'm going to go into the section expert. Everything except report header A gets suppressed. So the only thing I'll have is report header A. This is a single line. It's not going to multiply lines like we get in details. So I'll have one piece of data here. What that data will be something I will do in the formula field here. So I'm going to go in here, type new, and I'm going to call this stage count. I'm going to keep the name very consistent here. Inside of here, I'm going to create a formula. And it's going to start with something called while printing records. And this can be a headache and a half to deal with, but it does some really nice things. And what it does is on real time, as it's printing a record, it does the computations, which is something you need to do when you're trying to deal with subreports, because subreports aren't existing until the record is printed. So you've got to do this as late as you possibly can to get some data from the subreports out to the main report. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to create what's known as a variable. It's a piece of information that we can pass from one place to the other, and it'll be shared between my subreport and my main report. We're going to call it shared to start. And then we're going to have what kind of variable this is, and we're going to call it a number var. So it's a number, and then it's going to ask me for a name for this, and again, it's going to be stage count. I'm going to count stages distinctly, and you can see up here in my functions, you can see there's a summary function here. And inside of that, there's distinct count. There's lots of different versions. I just need the simple one. So I'm going to just use distinct count. And then I need in here stage ID. So I'll hit an S for stage ID, and then I'll pop it in there like that. I can go ahead and save and close that, and it's fine. I'm now going to take my stage count. I'm going to stick it here in report header A, like so. And I'm done with that. All right, now I've got this part done. I can go ahead and look at the preview, and it doesn't say anything really exciting. It's going to be a single number, whatever that number may be. I'm now done with this. I can go back to design here, and you can see here's stage count, and I'll make it a little bigger so you can see what's going on here. And it messed up a whole bunch of stuff, so I'm going to scoot this back up and hide this over here in the corner for now. This stage count made, I can make a formula here that uses it. So I'm going to go new. I'll call this one stage count. Hit OK. Now I'm going to do the same thing I did before while printing records. Again, I'm going to declare the variable. Like that with a semicolon. Now, I didn't put an assignment here. It's going to read it. Now, it'll only read it after the first one has actually computed it. Once it does, I've got this variable, and return it, I just have to put the stage count. That is going to be my formula here in my main report, and I can save and close that. And now I'm going to use this. And where I'm going to use it is over here in the details. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go section expert. And we've been doing all this suppression stuff with the suppress button over here. Well, there's a really cool thing you can do anywhere like this, and I mentioned it in the course as well, reporting and customization, that you can hit this button and it gives you a formula. That formula, if true, will make that particular thing true. So we're doing suppress. I'm going to close this up again so you can see this. For details A, I can suppress details A for a certain condition. So what do I want to say details A? That's a no routing. So I want to suppress details A if my stage count is greater than 0. If I've got something in stage count, then I want to suppress this. And then I can save and close that. For details B, I'm going to do something similar. This case, it's if I have no stages, do I want to suppress it? So here I'm going to take stage count, make it 0. So when stage count is 0, I'm going to suppress this one. And I can save and close that. All right, and I can now hit OK with those two formulas made. And let's go to the preview. And you see we now only have one of these, not two of these. In this case, we've got the 155, so we've got the one without any routing. I can double-click here, change this to 156, hit return and check on the parameter, and now I only get the one with the routing. So that looks really good, and that does a really good job. The only thing you may have a problem with is you still got this rogue number up here, which is the stage count. It has to show. If you go into here, and let's go to Format, Subreport, and Suppress, you don't get the right results because it's always going to think it's 0 because it doesn't actually evaluate properly. So we're going to have to figure out another way to hide this. I'm going to hit OK here. You're going to need to format right in here. And you can't format from this report. You have to format from the subreport. And I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to format the field. And I have two choices. One is I can put some text in here and say number of routing stages and put that on my production order. Or the other option I can do is just make it invisible by changing the font color to white and hitting OK. Now that it's white, I can actually go back over here to preview, and there you have your report. You can integrate it into SAP Business One with the material in the SAP Business One Report and Customization course. So I'm not going to repeat that here. If you want to know more about SQL and Crystal Reports and SAP Business One features, I do suggest checking out that course on report and customization, along with all my other Business One courses in the LinkedIn Learning Library.